Set your oven to 220 degrees, and you'd assume that's the temperature your bread bakes at. But here's the strange truth. Your loaf almost never feels that number, at least not the way you imagine. The dial on the front of your oven is, in a very real sense, lying to you. Because that dial doesn't actually control your dough. It controls the temperature of the air inside the oven box. And of all the things that could carry heat into your bread, air is one of the weakest. So the number you set and the heat your dough receives are two very different stories. To really take control of your baking and to understand that magical rise in the oven, you need to know a simple secret. Heat reaches your bread in three completely different ways. Heat number one is conduction. This is heat that moves through direct contact, one hot thing touching another. When your dough sits on a scorching baking tray or a hot stone, heat pours straight from the metal into the dough at the point they touch. Conduction is what blasts the bottom of your loaf, setting that deep, crackly base crust you get on a good baguette or pizza. No air, no glow, just raw contact heat driving straight up into the dough from below. It's also exactly why a preheated baking stone or steel beats a cold metal tray every single time. A hot, heavy surface has stored a huge amount of heat, and it dumps that energy into your dough the instant the loaf lands on it. Heat number two is convection. This is heat carried by moving air, the hot currents swirling around your loaf as it bakes. It feels like this should be the main event, since the whole oven is full of hot air. But there's a catch. Air is actually a pretty poor carrier of heat. Still, motionless air bakes slowly and unevenly, leaving you with pale patches and hot spots. That trapped, lazy air is a big reason home ovens can be so frustratingly inconsistent. That's what a fan, or convection setting, is for. It physically pushes the hot air around the loaf, baking faster and far more evenly. The trade-off is that all that moving air can also dry your crust out. So it's a tool to use with care. Heat number three is radiation. This one feels almost like magic. The glowing heating elements and the hot inner walls of your oven beam heat directly at your bread, like invisible light, with no contact and no air needed to carry it. Radiation is the main force browning the top of your loaf. Even though nothing is touching the upper crust, that radiant energy pours into the surface, driving the color and the flavor of the top of your bread. And here's why every baker tells you to stop opening the door. The moment you crack it open, you don't just lose hot air, you instantly cut off that radiant heat from the walls and elements. Every single peak genuinely sets your bake back. Now you can see why preheating matters far more than most people think. When your oven beeps that it's ready, it's usually only telling you that the air has reached temperature. The heavy walls, racks, and any stone inside are still catching up. If you slide your bread in too early, there simply isn't enough stored heat in the oven to give it a powerful start. The bake begins weak, and for bread, a weak start is something you can almost never recover from later. This is the real job of a baking stone or steel. Think of it as a heat battery. It takes a long time to charge, but once it's hot, it delivers a massive, steady punch of energy exactly when your loaf needs it most, the very beginning. And those first few minutes in the oven have a name that bakers almost say with reverence: oven spring. It's the dramatic, final burst of rising, where a loaf can balloon upward and outward in a way that looks almost alive. Here's what's happening. The intense heat makes all the gas already trapped in the dough expand rapidly, and the water inside flashes into steam, inflating the loaf from the inside like thousands of tiny balloons all blowing up at once. At the same time, The warmth sends your yeast into one final, frantic feeding frenzy, pumping out even more gas. That party keeps going until the dough hits around 60 degrees Celsius, the point where the yeast finally gives out and dies. As the dough pushes past that 60-degree mark, everything starts to lock into place. The stretchy gluten network we talked about firms up and sets, while the starches absorb water and gelatinize, turning soft dough into solid structure. This is the precise moment your bread stops growing and truly becomes bread. All that expansion freezes in place, captured forever in the crumb. Everything before this instant was potential. This is where it gets locked in. So if you get a big, powerful oven spring, the structure sets while the loaf is stretched tall and full of gas. That's the secret behind a light, open, airy crumb. A weak spring, and it sets dense and tight instead. This is also why professional bakers blast their ovens with steam in the first few minutes. That steam keeps the surface of the dough soft and flexible for longer, so the loaf can keep springing and expanding instead of tearing itself apart. Steam does something else beautiful too. It gelatinizes the very surface of the crust, which is what gives artisan loaves that glossy sheen and shattering, crackly crust. But that's a whole story for the next episode. And remember, all this heat moves inward slowly, layer by layer. The outside of a thick loaf can be deeply browned and crusty long before the center is even close to done. Big loaves are a patient game of letting heat travel to the core. So the real lesson is this: bake to internal temperature, not just to color or to whatever the timer says. A crusty brown shell can hide a raw, gummy center. The dial lies, the timer guesses, but the core temperature never lies to you. Rotate your loaf partway through to beat your oven's hot spots. Preheat longer than feels necessary, and whatever you do, resist the urge to open that door in the crucial early minutes. Because in the end, the number on the dial is only a suggestion. What truly decides your bread is how heat actually moves into your dough, by contact, by air, and by glow. Master that, and you master the oven. Next time, we dive into the steam secret behind a perfect, crackling crust.